Good morning. Y'all share this post. Y'all do me a favor. Do something real special for me today. Start a watch party. Let's see how that goes over. Y'all been doing so well sharing these on your page. I really appreciate it. But I'm listening to Ann Nesbitt. Lord, sometimes you just can't see a word. Just wave your hands, y'all. If you ever been in a position where you just was flat down, you done took so many hits in every single way, everything that came against you, the only thing you could do is wave your hands and just shake your head. Comment right here in the post and say, me, Mesha, I done been there before. Listen, don't just watch me. Don't just look at me. Make me feel some kind of way when you come on here and I see you, but you don't speak. At least say good morning. I know you might not have all the time in the world to be here, but say good morning. I love you guys so much. God's been just that good. Good morning, good morning. Let's start this watch party. Yes, can I get a witness this morning? Honey, when we talk about his goodness, you can't do nothing but move forward and keep it moving. Good morning, good morning. My name is Mesha Lee, and I'm your host for Morning Moja. Today is Tuesday, so you know today is Motivation Day, and we are about to set it off because sometimes that motivation is flat. I mean, like, we're not even talking about inspiration. I mean, your motivation is done. You done took so many hits. You done been through so many things. You just done did all. You have exhausted all your resources, and you are done. I mean, you literally don't have anything else to give. If somebody asked you to give them a cup of water, you couldn't even pick up a cup of water. Not because you don't want to, but because you just don't have the strength. And if you've never been to that space, keep living. Keep right on living, because sometimes you can give all that you have into a situation that you just don't have any more hope for. You don't have any more strength for it. You don't have any more anything for it. And it's really difficult sometimes because whenever you get to that space, it's that space that you need that little nudge over here. It's that space that you need that little push. But I come this morning to share with you a formula that I figured out. Y'all didn't know I love math, but I do. But a formula that I figured out that works to help me get my motivation built back up and kick-started whenever I am completely exhausted. There are going to be times in relationships where you done been through so much. I mean, for real. Where you done been through so much, you just give up. You give up. And it's not because you don't want to win. It's not because you even want to give up, but you just have nothing else to give. It's going to be times when you're trying to make something happen, when you're building a business or you're working with a client or you're doing something, believing for your kids. It's going to be a time where you are so exhausted and you're so tired because physically and mentally you are drained and you haven't had anybody to come and push you up. You haven't had anybody to come and put their hand behind the middle of your back and hold you up. Sometimes we look for our friends and family to be there for us, to hold us up in those tough times. And luckily, some of us have partners or husbands and wives that can be there for us, or even friends. But sometimes they not even there. They got their own battles and they have their own ways that they have to do things. Hey, Mark. Hey, Monique. How you doing this morning? Thank you for jumping on and sharing. But listen, let me give you a formula. But let's get a definition of hope. What is hope? Hope is expecting. It's a great expectancy. It's an expectancy for something to happen, a feeling and a desire for a certain thing, and to have it. It's like, you know, for Christmas, for those of us that grew up in the household that celebrated Christmas, for Christmas, we were motivated for Christmas. Hey, Tahisha, we were motivated about Christmas because we knew Christmas mean we were getting new clothes and new toys. We was going to be able to flex when we went back to school in January. I remember having some shoes that were so raggedy, but I didn't worry about it. I went ahead and trucked it on through Thanksgiving. It didn't matter. They was turned over because the way that I walk, my feet turn my shoes over real quick. So I have like a lot of shoes now because I'm an adult. But as a kid, your parent my mom was raising 5 children as a single mother. So she couldn't go and run and get a pair of shoes every other week like I can as an adult. And you know, so that I wouldn't have to worry about the wear and tear. You got a pair of shoes. Back down here where I'm from, when you got them school shoes in August, they lasted you until the next year. Basically, straight up and down. Now kids walk around here with 20 and 30 pair of shoes for every outfit. See, we ain't had it back in the day. And so Christmas was a time that you knew you were going to get something that was going to be great. It was going to be brand new, and you can go back and you can look brand new, and you can stand in front of your friends. So we were motivated to be good kids. Remember, if you were bad, you get the F on the shelf, or you get a lump of coal in your stocking. We was down for all that, honey. I'm talking about clean room. Ain't nobody had to ask me to wash no dishes. Ain't nobody had to ask you to make up no bed. You go to grandma's house and clean up her house. I mean, I was so good because I was like, I'm about to get all the gifts. I was motivated to get them shoes and get them back. Now, y'all know I love baby dolls. I literally played with baby dolls until I was grown because I love cutting their hair and combing their hair. So I was motivated. We were motivated to be better and behave better because we knew that if we didn't, that Santa or our parents, whichever phase you were in when it came to Christmas, you knew you weren't going to get things. And as parents, we motivate our children on a daily basis with good grades. Or if you make good grades, I'll buy you that new Nintendo game. If you, or PS1, if you do good grades, I'll do this, and I'll put gas in your car. We get motivated all the time by promises of things that we are expecting, or promises of things that we really, really want. So what is hope? Hope is a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing, basically down to the line. I looked it up in the Latin, even in the Bible when they talk about hope. It's an expectancy. It's an anticipation. It's an urgency. It's a yearning for something. So that's pretty strong. And what that does, that makes you want to do stuff. So 5 reasons why hope is the fuel to motivation. That's the formula. I'm going to go on and knock it out for y'all that might have to run off to work. Hope is the fuel for motivation, and I'm going to explain to you why. What you want, you'll work for. Anything that you really, really want, you're going to work for. Anything that you desire strongly, you'll work for. Now, what happens oftentimes, the reason we get uninspired, or our motivation die down, or we just give up, is the thing that we are working hard for, we don't desire it anymore. There's no desire there for that particular thing. Like in relationships, you might stop desiring that person. And here's the thing that makes marriage different. Hey, Talia, this is the thing that makes marriage different from just a regular relationship. Hey, Walter, good morning. This is the thing that makes those things different. When you're in a marriage, you understand. When you're in a marriage, you understand one thing, that you might not always desire that person, but you're committed to them. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother life. So you don't necessarily, that's another formula too. You don't necessarily go on the desire of the fuel to motivate you to be married. You have to go on the commitment, your word, and keeping your word. But now on a regular everyday term, when we're talking about accomplishing our goals, we're talking about losing weight. If you want to achieve your goals, if you want to stay motivated, you got to build your desire for that thing that you're trying to achieve. You got to build your desire, because if you don't build your desire, you're not going to be able to get the motivation you need that's going to help see you through. So whatever it is that you really want, think about it. I want you to just give yourself a few minutes. Anything that you really, really want, you're willing to work for it. You're willing to sacrifice for it. But the question that you got to ask yourself this morning is, do you really want it? And why you really want it? Sometimes we need to go a little bit deeper into understanding why we even want things when it comes to relationships. Why do we really even want that relationship? Why do we even want that car? A friend of mine was telling me that they got that car spark plugs is like $390-something a piece. Now, if I'm not mistaken, most cars have about 4, 5, or 6, maybe even 8 spark plugs. I'm not sure. I'm not a mechanic. But you're talking about, even if it's just 4 spark plugs, you're talking about $1,000 just on a simple, small little necessity that every car needs. Not to even mention everything else that goes with a particular with a tune-up for that car. So you have to understand why you desire something, because in your desiring of something, you have to this means that you have to accept everything that comes with it. See, sometimes we just look at how a car look, the color, the name tag, and we'll go out and we run and say, oh, I got me a BMW Mercedes. Okay, that's good. Because you desire that. That's what you want. But understand this, that part of you getting that and part of you desiring that thing, it comes with an expensive maintenance bill. It comes with some high maintenance, and you got to be willing to pay for that. Everything comes with a cost, guys. Ain't nothing free. Number one, even when you give, a lot of people say, well, I don't want to, do stuff and expect stuff back. I love to just give. I love to just give. That's a lie. Everything you do, you have an expectancy with it. You got to also build your expectancy. You got to also build the thoughts that if I do this, there's going to be return on it. Now, we love to say, and I've said it for a long time, so I had to think about it. We love to say, oh, I'm a philanthropist. I love to give away things. I love to help people. I love to do this. I want to feed the homeless. You see people online with them little videos they record, buying all this food for people that's out there homeless. And I be thinking, well, shouldn't you be trying to get them somewhere to stay? That's me. I'm like, okay, you giving them all this food, but they don't have no refrigerator. And if it rains, snow, or some kind of storm come, where they going to put this food? You probably should be filming buying them a house. You ain't going to see too much of that. People love to get that, but they give those things with good intentions and saying, I'm just free will. I just want to help people. No, you do that because you have an expectancy. You want to feel good about what you're doing. You want to feel a general sense of humanity. You want to feel fulfilled. That's still an expectancy. Nobody does anything, and when they do it, they want to feel bad after they do it. Nobody gives anything, and when they give it, they feel completely empty. Have you ever been in a relationship or a situation where you have completely given everything that you have, every ounce in that relationship, and got nothing back at your job? How many of y'all work jobs like that? How many of y'all work jobs like that where you have worked down to your bone? I mean, you have given that job and that employer every single bit of you all the way. Hold on, let me fix my camera right quick. You have given them every single part of you. I mean, all the way down to the T. Hold on, hold please. Okay, we're back. You done gave that employee everything. You done been loyal. You done been faithful. You done showed up when didn't nobody else showed up. You done worked over. You done done all this stuff with the expectancy that they would appreciate you, that they would look at you and say, oh, they're a hard worker, or let me promote them up. I heard something that was very, very powerful yesterday. I watched Channel 34, which is it's like a financial channel, and they had the Oracle of Omaha on there yesterday morning, almost all yesterday morning. They was interviewing them. And for those of you who don't know who the Oracle of Omaha is, that's Warren Buffett. And so they asked him about breaking up all his companies, and wouldn't it be more valuable for him to break up his companies and sell them off so that the shareholders can make more and more and more money. And he basically said this. He said, first of all, he said, we don't look for people who want us to do those type of things. We look for shareholders who believe in our culture. We indoctrinate them on how we do things at our church. This was his exact words. At our church, he said they believe it and they stay with it. We have people who have held shares of Berkshire Hathaway for over 50 years. He said, so we're not out looking for anybody. He said, we only have a little bit over 1 million seats. He said, and all of them are full. He said, the only way to get new people in the community is to kick some of the old ones off. He said, and we're not going to do that. And then they asked him about the management. He said, we do not seek managers who feel like that if they work hard, they can go from one level to one level to one level and maybe end up running everything. He said, that's not who we hire. We hire people to go into a position, to stay in that position, and to be happy. He said, we compensate them well. He said, but we're never looking for the person that's trying to go from one position to the next position to the next position with hopes of running the entire business. I thought that was so profound, because here you have one of the top 5 wealthiest people in the world, and he's known in every aspect of every business all over the world as the guru and the investment king. And he sat there and said that even in his own company, he doesn't hire people who are looking basically to elevate themselves through a whole career, hoping they can eventually run the whole company. So you have to begin to look at things when it comes to your expectancy at your job. Sometimes these jobs are truly just hiring you, not because they plan on you growing, it's because they need you in that position. So when your expectancy that you can get a promotion at this job, oh, they overlooking me, they not paying attention to me, it's not necessarily that. You need to find out what they offer and what it is that they really wanted you for. Why did they hire you? Why did they bring you in this position? They may have brought you in that position because this is the only position they want you for. They don't have no need for you to go somewhere else because somebody is already there doing that. And as long as that person is living, that's who's going to be there. So your expectancy at times, now we're talking about motivation. You got to have two things. You got to have a desired expectancy. Sometimes your expectancy is ill-focused. Sometimes your expectancy is looking at the wrong things, and that's why it gets burst, or that's why it's not there. You have to make sure, hey Marv, how you doing? Make sure that when you're talking about your expectancy and things, make sure you understand that the things that you are putting your expectancy upon is something that truly can give you back what it is that you're looking for. You're not motivated because you don't have expectancy. Hey, Octavia, you're not motivated because the thing that you was expecting to be something was never going to be that in the beginning. If somebody went to Warren Buffett's company thinking that one day I'm going to work my way to be at the top of his company and run his businesses, he already said yesterday right here on TV that people that come into his company like that, they don't hire them. And if somebody's in there like that, most likely they're probably going to be let go. He said we hire people to be in positions to stay in the positions we hired them for, period, point blank. So make sure that as you begin to build your expectancy on something, that the thing that you got expectancy upon can deliver what it is that you want. See, it's not on God to change a person's mind. It's not on him to change Warren's mind. That's just what it is. But what he can do is create a situation equally as prosperous for you and productive for you that will allow you to get in a situation like that. So we have to make sure that we fine-tune our expectancy to the things that really truly can produce those things for us. It's just like relationships. And I hate to keep going back and forth with relationships, but it's true. A lot of times we will meet a man or woman and they might look good on the outside, but internally, and we expect, oh, we're going to have some babies with them. We're going to build a house and travel. We're going to do all these amazing things with this fine woman. She's so fine. Her body's so fine. Her hair so beautiful. Her skin look like this. Skin look like chocolate. It look like milk. Or we look at him. He's so handsome. He got muscles. He look good. He's sexy. He fine. He fine. And you looking at all that, and you put your expectancy on that thing to be able to be the woman that'll cook for you, that'll take care of your children, that'll be your rider when you lose your job, that'll be down for you at the end of the day, that'll uphold you. Hey, Barbara, that'll uphold you no matter what you're going through. And, honey, the only thing she's thinking about is the thing that you was giving her to get her. The only thing she expecting from you is to be able to get a paycheck to go shopping. She ain't expecting to be no housewife. And so you putting your expectancies on her to be able to become that person, and she just slid off that pole. And she used to getting $300 and $400 or $1,000 a night, and she just slid off that pole. You think that she automatically want to come into this housewife? Now, she might most certainly want to do that, but you have to make sure that that's something she wants to do. Because if you just throw your expectancy out there, you're going to be way disappointed. And it's not because, and your motivation is going to be shot, not because it couldn't be built, but because you put your expectancy in a bad space. You put your expectancy on something that could not produce for you. He fine, he look good, he all that, but he terrible with money. He don't know how to build. He don't know how to be faithful. He don't know how to tell the truth. He let his looks make him somebody that's ripping and running with every woman. You can't expect him to be that man that's going to be a provider and supporter, because that's not who he is. So you have to make sure that the expectancy that you put into this formula is one that can really produce what it is that you want. Not talking about potential. I'm talking about people who flat out, you already know they ain't doing that. And it don't take you 20 years to figure that out. You've seen that within the first year. It's not about another thing. It's not about anybody else's rule. When it comes to what you can expect, when it comes to what you desire, it's not about what other people tell you. It's not about what anybody say is so. It's not about anybody else's rules, whether it's good or bad. It's always about what you can expect from something. See, sometimes in contradiction to what we just talked about, or on the flip side of what we just talked about, sometimes you can see things in people that somebody else might not can see. And so you'll put hope in that thing because there really does exist that possibility that thing can happen. And you can truly see that person trying to make that happen. Or you can see that situation. You can see a job. You can see your business creating for you the opportunity to have the financial freedom that you want. And you don't have to hustle and bustle for it. So you have to make sure that you don't look through somebody else's eyes. People will be quick to tell you, oh, that ain't gonna never happen. Or I wouldn't do that because I ain't never known nobody achieve that. Just because ain't nobody else ever done it don't mean that you can't. It gives you a knowing and in a better situation when you begin to expect on your own, when you begin to look through your own eyes and not through the things that you hear people say. It gives you a better point of view on the things that you can desire and that you can expect. You have to learn how to focus on the things right now. You got to learn how to focus on the things that you have in front of you right now, not the things you've been through, not the things you've seen, not the things that somebody has thrown at you, not things that people are trying to hold you accountable for. When you are trying to build your motivation, two things you have to have. You have to have expectation and you have to have desire. Expectation plus desire equals hope. And hope will fuel your motivation. You have to have a balance of those things. Make sure that the things that you desire are things that you desire and not that something that somebody just put inside of you. If you want to get you a nice car, if you want to buy you a nice house, fine. You got to fully look across. Good morning, Crosscuts. You got to fully look across the board that when I purchase this house, I got to pay insurance. You got to count up the costs. You have to count up the costs. This is the last one. The reason that a lot of us get uninspired and our motivation dies down is we don't count up the cost of the thing that we want to have hope for, the thing that we want to get, the thing that we are expecting to receive from the desires that we have for a particular thing. We don't count up the cost. We think everything is supposed to be pixie dust, unicorns, and flowers. Not none of that. 9 times out of the 10, the thing that you want the most is going to cost you the most. The bigger that it is, the more that you have to, the more time investment it is, the more you may have to go to get what you're expecting and what you desire. So make sure that in building your motivation, when you get all the way down, you're just like, I'm done, I'm tired, I can't do it no more. I ain't got nothing else. I'm empty. God, I need your help. Begin to look in a place over and above where you are. I always, when I get in that space that my motivation is completely down, I'll tell God, I said, Lord, I need you. And what I begin to do is I build my expectations, not on people and things. I build my expectation that God will come through, that God will show up, that God gonna look out for me, that he loved me enough that in spite of where I am, that he's gonna help me, lift me up and bring me to a space and say, look, daughter, this is what I need you to do. I know this is what you wanted, but this is the thing that you really, really want. Let me show you what it is. Let me explain to you how it works. And when he does that, it puts me in a better position when it comes to my desires. Now my desires are purely fueled. Now my desires are clear to me because now I know that I'm not running in behind something that can't produce. I'm running in behind something that most definitely is going to come to me and give me the resources and the things that I need to achieve my goals. So today is motivation. I know that was just a little deep, but it's like that sometimes. And we have to make sure that we understand when we are. When you say, I'm just not inspired, I'm not motivated. Listen, sometimes you got to go get that stuff yourself. You can't expect anybody to give you any kind of expectation to help you build something that you don't want to build for yourself. And I understand that sometimes it's not about that you don't want to build it for yourself, but you get worn out and you get tired. Everybody get tired. We all get tired. We all get full. But if you give up now, like I said yesterday, if you give up now on whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's your children, whether it's your job, whether it's your dream, if you give up right now because you're not motivated, I can 100% prophesy to you right now, and y'all know I don't do that, that you're never going to get it. You're never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it. If you stop, if you give up, it's cool. Everybody can be right then. Everything that they say, oh, it ain't gonna never happen. It won't. Or she'll never have it. You won't. Or they ain't gonna never make it. Y'all ain't. If you give up right now, but as long as you stay in the game, as long as you keep finding things to desire about that situation, as long as you keep adjusting and refocusing your expectations on the right things, because sometimes you can't put your expectations on people or situations. You have to get to a place you be like, you know what? And this is what I've had to do. I had to say, look, God, look, I tried this. My picker's broke. It don't work. I don't know where it broke. I don't know what happened to it, but it ain't working. My picker just don't work. So what I need from you is I need you to show me everything that I've been desiring, everything I've been expecting to come through. God, if that ain't for me, if this ain't what you want for me, fine. I'm willing to check it. But whatever it is that you have for me, whatever it is that I can have hope in, whatever it is that you're going to give me, and you're going to allow to come through this passage and this side of the field, on this side of life, give it to me. Show me what it is. And sometimes that's the only thing he's waiting for you to do is just to surrender your choice over to his will. Sometimes we fight battles that we really don't even have to fight because we got our own idea on how we want things to be. We have our own idea on how we want things to work. And I can tell y'all numerous times of stories, even people that I met over my 30 years. Oh my God, that salon talk is real. But I can even tell you the stories that I have personally chased and ran stuff down with hope. And I was motivated for that stuff. I mean, I was going whole like I was in there 100%. Ran it down and got all the way there. Even laid hands on it and realized this ain't what I expected and this is not what I really desired. This ain't what I wanted. And so I had to step back and just drop everything and let my hands be empty and say, okay, God, what is it that you want me to have? What is it that you want me to do? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And he said, okay, that's what I've been waiting for. So sometimes your motivation isn't gone. Sometimes you're not uninspired. Sometimes you're just in a transitional place where God is trying to get you to be quiet, shut up, and let him tell you what he wants you to do next. Sometimes you're in a space where he done let you run your wheels out, sitting there. You know how we look at our kids. For those of you that have grown kids, we tell them what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do. Sometimes you just sit there and be like, oh, okay, you got it. All right, go ahead. And we sit there and we just watch them. And sometimes it's hard to sit there and watch them grown children or even your young kids. When you're trying to tell them something, but you sit back like, okay, you got it. All right. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. I'm wrong. Oh, okay. You know better than me? Okay. You can't do something or you can't take it. Okay. All right. All right. Sitting here waiting for it. Ring, ring. Text. Mama call me ASAP. You was right. And no rush because we was waiting for them to get to that space. So now we can pick up the phone and say, okay, now you listen. You ready to listen what I'm finna tell you that you need to do? You ready to hear it now? Are you ready to hear? Hello? Can you hear me now? We get on some old Sprint, Verizon type stuff with them. And so when you get when you see that your motivation is low, and I'm finna get out here. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Make sure you share the post. When you get to a place that you done just worked yourself all the way down, your motivation is spent. You done went to your formula. You done looked at your expectation. You done paired it with your desires. And you got hope. And you see that hope there for that situation. Take that hope and run with it. That hope is going to fuel that motivation. It's going to keep you rolling. But if you get to the place that you got your expectation, you got your desire, and you look at it and you're still flat, then that means that God is ready for you to turn your hands upside down and say, okay, God, I need your help. What I'm supposed to do right here? Where I'm supposed to go? And you got to be willing to surrender. You got to be willing to do what it is that he tell you to do. You might not do it perfectly. You might not always get it right. I tell people all the time, honey, your salvation is a walk. If you think that from 1 minute that you stand up in that church 24/7, jumping up and down in that choir, wearing them 10-piece suits, and them 15-gallon hats as women and them high heels and them high collars is what's going to get you in the door. You done missed it, because a whole lot more of them going to be not in that place versus people who just really trying to make it. It's a daily walk. And as you have your daily walk, you have to understand that this is your walk and it's your responsibility. You have to do what you need to do to understand that your motivation is your motivation. It's good to have people that can explain things to you, but you got to take this formula. You got to look at your level of expectation, look at your desire, put those things together, and that's where you're going to find your hope. So if you're looking for something to motivate you, if you're looking to pump your motivation up, stop looking for the motivation. Ask yourself, what am I expecting? What is it that I'm really desiring? What is it that I really want in life? What is it that I really want in my business? What is it that I really want in my relationship? And then begin to adjust that desire, match it up with that expectation, and your hope is going to be there. And honey, when that hope show up, hunty, can't nothing stop you. You wide open. I mean, you going to be wide open, honey. They're going to see you running and going hard and making stances and saying, I will. And they're going to be like, man, how is she holding up? How is he holding up? Because he understand and you understand what it is that you're expecting and what you want. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming to Morning Moja. I will see you in the morning to get your dose of optimism tomorrow. And listen, this week I got my dates wrong. Our interview is going to actually be on Monday with Erica Kareem from Healing the Black Family. I spoke with her yesterday, guys. Listen, Monday morning is going to be lit. You are going to be we're going to kick off Monday mornings with a great interview. It's going to be incredible. She's going to share about her upcoming event, and she's also going to talk about her current position and how you can connect with her and join with her. Guys, make sure you share this post on your page. You can follow me across all social media as Mesha Lee. You can go to themeshalee.com, sign up, and if you think that you have a story or something you like to share or be featured here on the show as someone that I interview, go to themeshalee.com, click on Morning Moja, put your testimony or your story in. We'll get a message from you, and we'll put you in the bunch to see if you're selected to be featured on here one time during our Monday show. I absolutely love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the morning.
The recording has stopped.